Hello, this is Allie with the Perception Trainers. Today we are going to talk about presence and the truth about presence and why nobody is actually being present and what it means to be present and why we need to be present. Okay, so the first thing we need to understand about life is this. All right, this is real talk. Every experience that we have in our lives is information we need for who we want to become and what we want to create. Okay, I'm going to say that again. Every single experience we have in our lives is providing us with the information we need to become the person we want to become and to create what we want to create. This is the fundamental truth of life itself. Everything that you as a singularity are experiencing, have experienced, and will experience is the method through which you are revealing the information to yourself that you need to have the experience you want to have. Everything that has happened to you from your birth till now has contained a piece of information that you need in order to create the life, to express the self that you came here to be and create and express. That is the first and foremost understanding of life that we need to have if we're going to move forward with being able to be present. Okay? Second thing. When we have pain in our experience, it is because of one and one thing only. We are not understanding the information that is being presented to us. We are in resistance to the information. Okay? And the reason this causes pain is because we are all born into a world, yes, where we are not fully in alignment with life generation. And this is for a good reason. So before we get all superstitious and, oh my God, we're living in a fallen world and it shouldn't be like this and this is wrong, no. It's absolutely correct that we are born out of alignment with the truth. Because it is the journey of being born in a way that you are taught to reject yourself and you are taught to reject reality. It is through being born in that environment that you experience pain, right? The being out of alignment with life, the being out of alignment with yourself. You experience contrast, what you are not, what life is not. And it is through that, and only through that, that you can develop the capacity to fully understand what you are and what life is. Okay? So without this contrasting experience, without experiencing what life is not, without experiencing what you are not, and again, let's say a little bit more complex, okay? Everything that you experience that is out of alignment with truth, again, is not totally wrong. It is a fragmented piece of truth. Okay, so again, it's not that anything in your life, anything that you are, anything that you've experienced, any rejection of self, any painful experience, it's not that any of this was wrong or outside of truth. It's that it was a too small piece of truth. Okay? Every one of your experiences is a piece of truth that needs to be put together with all your other experiences and all the other information so that you can understand a whole bigger picture. Okay, so this is the thing. All contrast is a piece of truth being mistaken for the whole truth. So when we have these experiences that are painful that we don't understand, most of us are rejecting those experiences as being wrong, bad, and should not have happened, or something that didn't happen should have happened. Yes? This is where we have trauma. Okay? Our misunderstanding of how reality should have unfolded, being mistaken as the truth, and reality as having gotten it wrong. This is what gives us pain, because reality didn't get it wrong. Reality showed you a piece of itself, and you said, okay, that's the whole thing, so anything else that's not that is wrong, and I'm going to try and get rid of it. Or reality showed you a piece of itself, and you said, that is just wrong. That should not be. That is not reality. I'm trying to reject that. And that, both ways, yes, this is the whole thing, so I reject everything else, or this is not a part of it, so I reject it, is rejection of information. It's rejection of information that you need in order to become life-generating. Because again, everything in the reality is right. It is a part of reality. It is when it's all fragmented out, and this is right, and this is wrong, and this is good, and this is bad, and this is what I want, and this is what I don't want. That's where we get in trouble. Because as long as we're trying to divide and separate, get rid of information, we're not moving in the direction of life generation. We're not moving in the direction of becoming more ordered, more complex, more structured. We are trying to get rid of information that we need to build what we want. Because here's the real truth about who you want to be and what you want to create. It is simply the culmination of all the information that you have collected being you. All of that information is who you want to become and what you want to create. When you have integrated your experiences and you have realized who and what you are to this point, and you are living in that as though it's correct, and you've taken all that information, you feel free. And you will continue to grow and learn and change. You're never going to know it all, because there's always going to be something to expand into, so that's not what this is about. But it's saying when you have integrated everything that you've been through so far, this is why we can have an awakening or an arrival that never ends. That's all that is. Enlightenment, in my definition of it, is the full integration of everything you've experienced up until this point with who and what you are as a relative being, integrated with the universal understanding of who you are, living that authentically. That's all that enlightenment is. That's what peace is. It's ending the division. No longer trying to get rid of information, no longer trying to get rid of experiences, no longer trying to get rid of parts of yourself, no longer trying to enhance certain things. You just have integrated all of it. You see the benefit of all of it, you see the information in all of it, and you're expressing it. Whether people like you or not, you're expressing it because you like you. That's all enlightenment is, and that's why it never ends. Because then you're going to continue to have experiences that are going to continue to give you information, that are going to continue to inform what you want to become and what you want to create, and you're going to go on from there doing that over and over and over again. So enlightenment is not an end point. Enlightenment is simply saying, I'm no longer rejecting the reality. I'm no longer rejecting myself. I am now looking for the information in everything. So this brings us to presence. Okay? The only way we can understand what we have been through and what we are going through is to be present in it. Time, the singularity of time, the illusion of time, is the vehicle through which we can have this experience of understanding life and understanding ourselves and creating things and being this. The only way that God is able to fully express itself as God and to evolve to the next version of God is through the experience of time. It is the singularity moments, the being able to see this led to this, led to this, led to this, led to this, that we can understand this. We don't want to get outside of time. We are already in reality outside of time. But it is the perception of time that's allowing us to have this experience at all. So when we are present in the moments we are in right now, for most of us, what is going to happen is all the experiences that we have been through, that we have not understood. Yes, we didn't get the information. We rejected it, we enhanced it, we had something that we liked, and so we rejected everything else. Whatever it is that we've done, we've rejected ourselves. I've rejected this part of myself, I've rejected this part of myself, I've rejected this part of myself. That is all going to be painful because it's leading you to live in a way that is against life because you don't have enough information to live with life, right? We're born into the contrast, meaning we are opposing life. That is why we have pain. That's all pain is. We are opposing life. We are opposing the life that we are opposing the universal life, usually both at the same time. That is what pain is. The reality is showing us where and how we are doing that. But for most of us, we are not looking at pain and saying, okay, pain is showing me where I'm rejecting reality. We're looking at pain and saying, pain is wrong and shouldn't be happening. Let's get rid of the pain. So now we have these two layers of resistance to reality, two layers of not understanding the information. And then we continue to have experiences that we're not processing, we're not getting the information, because, right, as we reject this, then another experience happens, which means we have to reject a part of that, and then another experience happens, which means you have to reject a part of that. So now we're collecting all of this rejected information. We're continuing to oppose life. We're continuing to do things more and more and more that oppose life, because we have less and less and less information. Yes, every time we have an experience and we reject it, the next time we're carrying with us a lack of understanding to the next level curriculum. Yes? So then we can only understand a third of what we're offered. And then the next part of the curriculum we can only understand an eighth. And then the next part of the curriculum we only understand 1/16. And then life starts to become so confusing and so overwhelming that by the time we're in our old age, all we can do is sit in our home and shit in our diaper, because we're so afraid and so confused about what's happening. Because we've learned to just get rid of information, thinking this simplifying is going to help us, when really it's the opposite. All it's done is made us less and less and less and less and less intelligent, less and less able to work with the reality, less and less aware, more angry, more judgmental, more critical, more anxious, more depressed, more upset, because these emotions are showing us where we are rejecting reality, to the point where we can't be present at all. We're just stimulating ourselves and drugging ourselves all day long, because the second we're sober and the second we're still, all of that unprocessed experience, all the information that we've rejected as wrong and bad and we don't want it, comes up. Why? Because it's what we need to become who we want to become and to create what we want to create. Simple as that. All of your experiences contain the information for this highest self you want to become. So if you're one of these spiritual people who really wants to become your highest self, you have this vision of creating this perfect, beautiful retreat center, and you want to help people with this, and you want to do but you're still thinking that your past had a mistake, or that there was something wrong with you or the way that anything unfolded, and you're trying to transcend or heal or fix or forgive or transmute anything that you've been through, you're never going to get there. Because this is the information for how to get there. You need to go back and collect that information. So this is why, when we're actually practicing being present, number one, it's going to be painful. It's going to be a lot of painful emotion, because it's showing you, right? It's like that email inbox you haven't looked at in years, and now it's just full of unread emails. It's going to be incredibly overwhelming for most of us. Okay, so we learn to sit in the uncomfortable emotion, and we watch ourselves try to fix it. We watch ourselves try to project it onto our bodies, try to project it onto our relationships, try to project it onto our work, trying to project it onto our friends, project it onto these external circumstances. We're going to do all that. And then we say, okay, now I'm going to practice presence. Where this anxiety is coming up, it's in my chest, I'm not going to try and fix it. I'm not going to try and numb it out. I'm not going to try to make it go away. I'm not even going to try to figure out what the information is. And this is the key. Okay? And this is what I really, really, really want to get across. I know I talk about this all the time, right? Our emotions are information. That this is all information, and we want to sit with our emotions so we can get the information. But the thing is, if we're doing it with that intention, we're still labeling the emotion itself as wrong. We're still saying, I'm sitting here to get the information so that the emotion will go away, or so that this part of myself will go away, this part of myself that I don't like. I'm sitting with the anorexic part of myself, or the part of me that's addicted to social media, or the part of me that wants to drink, or the part of me that wants to go back to my abusive relationships, or the part of me that always does this or that, the part of me that's in so much fear and in so much pain. I'm sitting with it to tolerate it, hoping that if I tolerate it long enough, it'll go away. If I cry about it long enough, it'll go away, it'll change. No. We need to be brave enough to be so present with ourselves, with reality, with what we're feeling, with the parts of ourselves that exist as they exist right now, that we're brave enough to say, I love you even if you never change. I just want to sit with you. This is presence. Because in that moment, in those moments of true and utter, complete self-acceptance, I see you exactly how you are, anxiety, depression, aspect of myself, negative emotion, whatever it is. I see you. I hear you. I accept you. I am no longer doing any busy work to try and get rid of you or fix you or even figure out what you're trying to say. All I want is to sit and be with you. I'm just going to feel what it feels like to be anxious and not do anything about it. I'm not going to act on the anxiety, right? I'm not going to listen to it, as in like, right, what it's superficially telling me to do, or the eating disorder, or the depression, or this negative aspect of myself, whatever it is. I sit with it. You're going to sit with it. You're going to be so present that you're benevolently curious about it. This is how we are present, okay? And what we are doing in this moment is we are allowing ourselves to process what happened. The fragmented part of ourselves that got left behind. So this is where we can talk about soul retrieval. This is really what this is. It's any part of yourself that has had an experience that you do not yet fully understand, is stuck in that experience. You can think of it like this, right? It's like a little piece of you that's stuck in grade 1 math. While the rest of you has moved on and you're in grade 12 biochemistry, there's still a little part of you that's stuck in grade 1 math. So anytime you need the information that this little grade 1er is supposed to have over in grade 12, you're not going to have it. And so you feel like you get pulled back to this grade 1 self who's stuck at this concept, and you're like, shit, why can't I get rid of this part of myself? Why do I keep going back here? Why do I keep getting stuck back into this? Why can't I fix it? Why can't I heal it? Why can't I transmute it? Why do I keep coming back to this emotion over? Because information has been missed. And there's that piece of you that's stuck there until you get the information. And the only way to get the information is to be present in the moment that it's happening. So you're going to notice, again, you're going to go and be present with these emotions and these memories and all these things that come up. And then you're going to see, I'm playing those exact things out in my life right now, today. This isn't just something that happened 18 years ago. This is something that's happening right now. This is still a pattern I'm playing out. So I'm not going back there all the time. I'm still doing it. I'm still opposing life exactly the way I did back then, because I didn't learn. So I'm doing the same thing over and over again in slightly different ways, but it's the same shit. You're going to notice this, okay? So you're present. You're finally just present. This is what's happening. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I don't know why I keep doing this. We have to be willing to admit that to ourselves. I don't get it. I don't understand. And then we love that aspect, that emotion, that anything that's coming up so fiercely that if it never changes, it's okay. We just love it and we just want to be with it. That is the intention. You love it so that even if it never changes, your intention is that you're going to love it so much that you don't care anymore. It doesn't hurt so bad. That even if you're anxious for the rest of your life, you're going to love your anxiety so much that you love your anxiety. And I know that sounds crazy, but that is it. You go with the intention of not changing the thing or the aspect or the emotion, but that you're going to love it so much that even if it never changes, you don't care. That's what presence is. And then you will integrate the information, but only if that's your intention. That I'm going to love you so much that even if you never change, I stay this way forever. I love it. Okay? So if you have any comments, questions, concerns, please leave those down below. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll keep talking about this probably in the next video. But for now, that's that.